What's happening, guys? Dan Debenham here. Today we are looking at why gear is not important to make YouTube videos. You don't need tons of gear, you just need to get your mobile phone out and start filming. So gear doesn't matter is a thing that we hear quite a lot, especially in the sort of niche filmmaking industry sort of area on YouTube. You're told all the time that in reality you can just nip out and you can film with whatever camera you've got, you know, whether that be a phone or a GoPro or whatever. And does it really matter? Is it really a thing? Are all these videos, all these YouTubers, all these filmmakers correct, and you can just grab any old piece of a kit and go for it? Well, yes and no. You see, it's not quite as simple as let's just dive in, get our phones out and go and do some filming, because there are lots of things to take into account. And I feel like this sort of oversimplified explanation that gear doesn't matter is probably just a little bit too oversimplified and a little bit too much belying that the whole thing is sort of accessible to everybody, given to get the same quality and get the same sort of output that everybody else gets. And in reality, what actually happens is yes, you start out with your mobile phone or a GoPro or something small that you can just put something together with, but quickly, as your abilities and your creativity take over, in essence, you start to gather more and more equipment. You need a ring light, you then need some other lights to focus on other things. You then transfer into 3-point lighting, and before you know it, your phone camera's autofocus or focus is not quite doing what you want it to do, and so you need something with a bit more manual operation, or you need something with a bit more of a finite amount of infinite amount of adjustment, as it were. And for that, then you start to go up and up and up in sort of the grading of equipment until you end up with essentially a studio full of stuff that is basically what you're shooting your YouTube videos on, or you're shooting your films on. And you inherently want better sound, and so you invest in a microphone. But then you want sound in different circumstances, so you need more than one microphone. You need a lav microphone for things that are further away from the camera where the microphone is situated. You need a camera like a microphone like I'm using now, which is an on-camera shotgun microphone, in order to be able to capture those sort of audios when you're not that far away from the camera. You end up with all these different things for different circumstances, because you're shooting things in different circumstances, and therefore you need different things for different circumstances. So you need a couple of different types of tripod, a full size one, a handheld one, a Joby. Actually, bear with me 1 second, because this Joby tripod that this is on at the moment, I really don't trust. It's a 3K Joby, but they've had it a few years and the legs have gone a bit jelly on them, and this has got a R5C on it, and it has a tendency to just topple over, so I think I might have to change that. 1 second. Okay, got rid of that Joby, got it on a small rig tripod, which is a straight metal leg job, so I feel a little bit more comfortable with how this is sat. Watch it now, it'll blow over in this wind or whatever, you know, and I'll be like eating my own words and buying a new camera. But back to where we were. So essentially, yeah, effectively your creativity and the thing you're trying to create will denote what you're actually trying to achieve and what you need to achieve it. And so I think this oversimplification that you don't need any equipment, you can just get on with it, is sort of an oversimplification, as it were, that sort of lulls you into a system or a situation where you start to enjoy yourself, and before you know it, you've spent a few £1,000s, in small increments, and it all adds up. You've got £40 for a microphone here, £30 for a cable there, £20 for an SD card, and so on and so forth. And that's another thing that you need to consider, that your equipment is not just the stuff that you're filming on. It's not this stuff, it's not this thing, it's also the back end stuff like the SD cards and the SSDs to store your stuff on, so that you've got things. It's the music library and and you know, all that kind of stuff. It's all those different things that you need that essentially are there to sort out producing your video how you want it producing, and that is in essence why I think that this oversimplification again that I've said is of just use a mobile phone. It's great to start out with, but it's not necessarily where you end up. You always kind of end up wanting to do more by the very nature of your own creativity. Now, in essence, what I would say is that starting with a mobile phone is definitely the way to go. You can essentially try before you buy with a mobile phone, and because everybody's got one, you can pretty much just start going and then see where you go from there, basically, and build up your equipment over time. This is not a simple case of go out, spend 20,000, £30,000 on stuff that, you know, equipment and gear, and then start making videos. The sort of advice that you're getting, which is equipment doesn't matter, is true at the beginning of your journey. But by the time you get into your journey, you're already surpassed all that and are essentially your own creativity and your own ideas and the things you want to achieve and the vision that you've got denotes that you're probably going to need more stuff than just a simple mobile phone. So that was my sort of take on does gear matter. In essence, like I said to you before, it's a yes and a no situation. No, it doesn't matter at the beginning, but yes, it quickly does matter, because you're quickly going to outgrow the equipment you've got, and you're going to quickly want to produce higher quality videos with more intricate details and more things that are going off in there. And to do that, you need that other equipment to do that, whether that's a really posh lens, whether it's a fast lens, a slow lens, a long lens, a short lens, you know, a wide lens like this 15 to 35, a small, big, medium sort of tripods, that kind of stuff, and a host of things like lighting and all that kind of stuff. And so yes, it doesn't matter at the beginning, but in reality it quickly will matter, and as your creativity grows, so will your requirements, as it were, for the equipment that you're using. So with that, hope you did find this beautiful day quick little vlog on does gear matter. Hope you did find it useful, and I enjoyed talking to you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.